Hi everybody, I'm just making this video real fast because this question popped in my mind, and it was about anger. It's like, what does anger do, right? I'm giving this example because I was driving. Let's say I'm driving in the car, someone does something, right? And makes me so angry inside. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm fuming like at that person, but that person's not thinking about me. They don't even care. They're just going on and they won't even think about me again, but I'll hold that on like for a while, maybe the whole time I'm driving in traffic, thinking about that person that cut me off or something, and it made me think deeper into because I had anger issues growing up. Like I had I did. And people are like, when they know me, they're like, really? You did? But I'm human, and yes, I did. I think people really close to me, like my men and my immediate family, know it the best. When I was a teenager, that's probably my worst time. I was just so angry, and I never, on this journey of self-development, like me figuring out my identity and all that with Jesus, through Jesus, right? Because I took a training and I found out that we have triggers. So my triggers are when people make me feel less than. I've realized that, is when I get triggers and I'm mad, So I used to think I couldn't control it, it was just a temper I had in my blood, whatever, and that's not true. You can change too if you just work on it. I didn't want to be angry, and I'm a really kind person. It's just when someone would make me feel less than, which happened a lot growing up, that was my self-worth issue, is people making me feel stupid, of authority. So I always had also people of authority on a pedestal, I'm less than them, and if they made me feel like a teacher or supervisor, made me feel worse about a situation, a mistake I made, right? I really felt stupid, and I was really hard for me to not believe that because someone else thought that, but even when I didn't think I was, the point was somebody else thought I was, right? So anyways, what I had to realize is that they were wrong, right? That mistake doesn't define me. That was a mistake. Over with, done, never thought about again, except I held on to it for a long time. And what was done, okay, a teacher humiliated me and another student in front of the class. We weren't following directions, so we made a mistake. But it was quiet. We were doing an assignment in the corner with a group of girls. She says, if she was a nurse and made a mistake, that could be someone's life. And I'm in school. I'm not even close to being a nurse. That's something I wanted to do, and the other girl too. Everyone heard that, and I was so upset. I was so hurt and sad and mad too. What? How unprofessional that was, and wrong it was that she said that. And the point is, it's true. If I was a nurse and made a mistake, that could be someone's life. But for her to compare that with me as a student right now was wrong. That was wrong. And she was just upset because I wasn't following directions. It wasn't just me, and I knew better. I thought that we should be using this thing in front of us, but the girl had more confidence and assertiveness and took control, and I followed, right? So it's the first time I realized I have to do what I know is best. I can't lean on somebody else, I don't know. It was just the passive in me, and doesn't matter. The point is, it was a teacher. I felt upset. I wanted to write her an email. I never did. But what I did do is finish the class with a C. The other girl dropped the next day. So that for me was me persevering through that. It was so hard, but I did it. There's other situations too, and I don't need to go into the details, but I do want to say back when I was in 3rd grade, I got held back, and that's when it all started. I felt stupid at that point, at 3rd grade, when I was a kid, thinking thoughts in my head that I wasn't smart. I had to get held back, trying to come up with a reason why. Like, I had a bilingual class when I was in kindergarten or something like that, and I just wasn't into homework. And then I had RS. I had to be taken out of class, in 6th grade, and told I had the reading comprehension of a 3rd grader by a teacher, and so all that when I was in 6th grade. And then, so I'm just saying that, like, it roots from when you're a kid most of the time, those triggers, I mean. Now, I just want to finish up and wrap up and say that what I want to say is what happens when we're angry is we hold on to it. We're the ones affected, not anyone else. Nobody, the other person probably has no idea what they did affected us so much that we still have resentment in our heart. Like, it builds up resentment and unforgiveness too, where we're so angry or not happy and we're just remembering it, not letting go. Like, those mistakes haunted me. Like, they followed me, and I couldn't see past those mistakes, like, for so long until I realized they were wrong, and Jesus, because I couldn't do it on my own. I had to give it to him. And I just want to say that, like, the only person that anger affects is me, like, when I'm angry. And just to be aware of that too, like, when I'm in driving and stuff, it's not as bad as it used to be, but I'm now looking at people like they're ridiculous and concerned for them because they can hurt somebody. That's not okay. But I'm not any more angry, just like, mindful of, like, that person, like, whatever, try to think, like, I try to think deeper about things. And, like, I wanted to talk about anger because I've dealt with it. I'm not focusing on anyone out there or trying to, like, I'm not better than anybody, like, but I think a lot of people might hold on to some anger of something that happened in their past. Someone hurt them before, and holding on for so long can really do damage to your own heart and mind and soul. But I don't know. There's so much more. I just want to, I'm like, I love psychology, but I also, number one, love, like, the journey I'm on with Christ, because that's how I'm really changing. Because all that I'm learning is just what I could say to other people, but discovering my own self also helps people. Like, what I've been through, self-worth, like, I think anyone could relate to that. Not necessarily compare, because we've all had different experiences. I had really great parents and brother, sister growing up, like, my family, I'm not talking about comparing, because we can't do that, okay? But just the fact that I talk about anger, if it's resonating with anybody, like, maybe it is for you, but just the question crossed my mind is, what does that anger do? It affects me, only me, not that other person. They have probably, most likely, do not know that we're angry about a situation, because we never said anything. So communication is also a factor. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.